This is clumsy. Hello and welcome to Jason Cross Stitches, the Flosstube channel where we talk about cross stitching and a few other random things. Conveniently, I am Jason. My pronouns are he and him, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time to visit with me today. It is May 31st, 2025, and this is Volume 1, Episode 7. I am recording a few days early this time around. I normally record on Mondays, but I unexpectedly have to go out of town next week. I had a colleague who had to cancel his a conference that he had to go to, so I will be going in his place. So that is a very unexpected trip, but it'll be a good experience, and I'm looking forward to that. I will have about 3 hours of free time during the short little trip that overlap with the local needlework store that will be open. So I will spend probably those 3 hours in there. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I will tell you more about that when it comes, or the next time around. So after I go there, and this will be my very first trip to a local needlework store. So really excited about that. So what are some things that are going on in the past few weeks? So this, because of the change in plans and me having to go out of town unexpectedly, I am missing a weekend of stitching that I would normally talk to you about. So you're only going to get one weekend of updates, plus whatever I got in during the week. So that means next time I will have 3 weekends, maybe, hopefully, because today is only going to be a partial day. So we'll see how that goes. But I will have some time on an airplane, which I usually can get some of my black work done. So that's going to be, I'm excited actually to have some dedicated time for my black work there. And what else is going on in the world there? Oh, I have some big news. Completely unimportant to anybody else in the world. But I live in a relatively small town. There's only about 4,000 people in this town. It's not even a suburb of a moderate-sized town. It's a good ways away. And I have been struggling for the past several years with some of the worst internet access in the world. And so recently we just got broadband in the area, and took a while for us to get to that top of the list to actually get it, but that happened this week, and so I'm on, I think, day number 4 of actually having 21st century connectivity to the world. So that has been really exciting. So like, I can tell you how exciting it was that even the cats got involved. They were like staring out the window, making sure that everything going on in the yard was up to snuff, and they were just as excited about we are. So yeah, I'm not sure I know how to adjust to actually having this much connectivity. Everything is moving just so fast. It's great. So that's the big news. But my sweet little friends, they loved it too. So that's really the only big thing that's happening this week besides me leaving town. So what else do I need to talk about here? Oh, one other thing, I do want to say thank you to everybody who leaves comments either in the videos below, sends me email, or over on Instagram. So while we're talking about it, email is jasonxstitches@gmail.com. Instagram is at jasonxstitches. I appreciate everybody sending those comments and messages. They're just so great to read. I read every single one of them that I get, and I try to reply to as many as possible. I am behind right now. So if you have sent me a message, you haven't heard back, I am trying to get caught up on all those. So I do read them as they come in, but sometimes that's when I don't have an opportunity to sit down and read or respond. So, but I do appreciate them. Thank you so much for sending those, and you'll hear from me eventually. I'm just a little bit behind at the moment. Some other housekeeping stuff that I wanted to take care of before we got into anything else is 2 videos ago I had a drawing for reaching 4,000 subscribers. And I had 4 winners who each received 10-pound gift cards from the Steady thread. One person did not reply, and then I left that person's name in the second video, and still I have not got a reply. So I drew a new name for that gift card. So the new winner for that is Abby Jewett 4031. So congratulations, Abby. Please send me an email. You will receive the gift card through email, so that is the most convenient way to get that. So again, Abby Jewett 4031. Just go ahead and get in touch with me, and I will get you that gift card right away. Yeah, so that is all of our housekeeping. The other thing I talked about in my last video is I started a round robin with some folks that you probably already know. And I was thinking it would be fun to include people throughout the community to get them involved in I thought it would be fun to include everybody in the community in a round robin. So I asked if people would have an interest, and I got a lot of replies back. So it sounds like there definitely is an interest in putting a round robin together. It can be challenging, and I'm sure there's a lot of logistics, and I've kind of been brainstorming about what that would look like. So I did put a little survey together. There's a link down below in the show notes for you to go to this survey. It's a Google form, and just answer a few questions if you are interested. So basically what we'll do is I'll have everybody submit the survey if you're interested. You have until June 30th to go ahead and just let me know that you are interested in doing this, so you have some time to think about it, and whether you want to do it, whether you have the time to do that. And then just let me know, and then I'll match people up. So I'm thinking round robins with groups of 4, and then we will match those groups of 4 up, and then everybody in that group can select the project that they want to do based on their individual needs. And then we will also have little updates along the way where you can email me updates, and I'll share them here about what's going on. I'm thinking about some little like tracker where we can kind of like visualize where everything is going on at once. So we'll see how it plays out with who is involved. And then also we'll be sharing that on Instagram as well, so everybody can follow along. So it's a round robin where there are, a traditional round robin, but I'm hoping that even if you can't participate in it, that you'll still cheer people on through Instagram or through the community here. So a little bit about the survey. I'm hoping it'll take no more than 5 minutes. It's multiple choice with a few answers. So first thing that you'll see is they'll ask you whether you're 18. Because we do have to share addresses, you do have to be 18 to participate. So the first question, just are you 18? Just not to waste your time if you're not. So then simple things will ask for your name. You don't have to give your entire name, but you will need to share your name with your group just to make sure your postal carrier can get that to you. We'll ask for your email because that'll be the way we'll be communicating throughout. I'll ask for your level of experience, and that whether you are a beginner or an expert, it doesn't matter. We want you to participate. Everybody is welcome. But as a new stitcher myself, having that community of experienced stitchers has been great. So I do want to make sure that when we're putting little groups together, that there is a diversity in the amount of experience, so people can learn from each other and get different insights on that. And the last general question about you personally would be your location. So I have had several people reach out to me, specifically from Europe, and then also some people in the United States as well. So the location is important because we'll want to know where you are, and that will add some additional shipping costs. So My intent is to group people geographically unless people tell me otherwise, where if you want to have a stitching group that is worldwide, that is great too. I actually would love the idea of being able to stitch across 4 continents. I'm not sure that that's feasible this go round. I looking at where my viewership comes from. I think it'd be North America, Europe, and Australia if everybody from there wanted to participate. That does add a little bit of time. It does add a little bit of expense when it comes to the shipping costs. But just the idea of knowing that your work has traveled and you've connected with people all over the world would be amazing. So that is an option if you want to do that. So a few other questions on the survey. I have 4 boring questions. And these are just to let you know that there are some obligations. These are all yes and no. And basically the first one is, are you willing to purchase a chart? Because you will have to purchase a chart to participate. Everybody will have to have their own copy, so we can't share copies just out of respect for copyright laws, and also artists do need to be supported for the work that they do create, and we wouldn't be anywhere without the artists that create all these wonderful patterns that we are going to be using. The second question is, are you willing to purchase the materials? So you will have to purchase your own materials for that. The third one would be covering mailing cost and the associated packaging materials for that. So again, yes or no, are you willing to cover that? And then the last thing is just, are you willing to share your address with other people? So those are all basic guidelines, and we just wanted to double check that there's no surprises along the way, just in case somebody hadn't thought about something. But it is a round robin, and so those are the things that come with it, but I wanted to make sure that we consider those things up front. The next set of questions is about fabric type. So what are you comfortable working on, and what do you not want to work on? I know some people do not like working with data. I know some people love working with data, and so we just want to make sure that if you are matched up in the group, that you'll all be working on either a similar type of fabric, or that you're all comfortable working on whatever type of fabric everybody else in your group does. So just trying to get some of those things cleaned up ahead of time. And then also fabric count, making sure that we're not doing anything so microscopic that 3 out of the 4 people won't be able to see your work. So we just want to make sure that everybody is comfortable with what they're going to be stitching when it comes their way. And then finally, there's just some questions about pattern types, like what do you want to stitch? What are your favorite things to stitch? Do you want to do a mandala? Do you want to do something that's the 4 seasons? So how are we going to break those down? Some things are more conducive to that than others. So those are just like, yeah, I'll do that. So you don't have to make a decision about that, but just something that you would be interested in doing it. Again, once we get in the groups, we'll make all the final decisions about what those projects look like. Another question is the number of stitches you're willing to stitch and how big it is. So there's a total project size of stitches, but then how much is your quarter? Essentially, you'll be doing something similar to that the entire time. So you'll be doing an entire project, but you'll only be doing 1 quarter at a time. What works into your schedule, and where you have the resources to actually commit to that. And then the final question, kind of related to that, is how long are you willing to participate, or how long do you want to participate? If you want, I think shortest I put on as an option is like 1 month per rotation. It's a very quick round robin, but if you want to go fast, that works too. And then I also have like up to a year. So that would be the full extent of the whole thing, not an individual rotation. So a 3-month rotation with total round robin being a year. Those are all my questions. That was a lot of information. It's all in the survey. If you do have any other questions, just go ahead and send me an email or a message on Instagram. I'll be happy to answer those for you. I'm really excited to see who participates and see what comes out. I'm sure there'll be other ideas along the way. But that's the fun of it, is everybody contributing and throwing their ideas into the community and see where it goes. So I'm excited about this particular round robin and see what happens. I have had some other Flosstubers send me a message like, hey, I want to participate too. So yeah, so there may be some other Flosstubers who are going to participate as well. So my goal there is to distribute them around groups. I don't know how many groups are going to be. I'm not setting any limits on that. I am just going to see what happens. Just from my initial feedback, I'm guessing about 4 groups, so about 16 people. That's just me. I've had more responses than that, but I'm guessing some people probably may change their mind at some point. So I don't know. Having invited enough people to various things, there's always some people that don't show up, which is okay. But so I'm thinking there's probably going to be about 4. There may be less, there may be more. We'll see. Okay, that was a lot of me rambling on about it. I'm really excited about it. So go ahead and take the survey. And if you are interested, again, it's linked down below. And time frame. Looking to have all the surveys done by June. Within the first week or so of June or July, I would go through, kind of put the groups together, send out email, introduce the groups. I'll have one big group email that goes out to everybody, so everybody's getting consistent information, but then there'll be smaller groups that are the round robin groups where you can trade your own information within the other 3 people in your group. And then no specific start date. I'm looking for sometime in late July, but every group can coordinate that based on what pattern they pick and what works best for those schedules. And then we'll start going from there. I'll work with everybody to kind of see what their ideas are, what their plans are, and then communicate that here with everybody else in the community. So that was a lot. So plans for today, or the agenda for today. Agenda seems like such a businessy word, but anyway, I will talk about, I have a finish, which is a fully finished. I have a new start, a few whips, because I missed a weekend. I'm going to have a few less whips than I normally would, but that's okay. I'm really excited about the progress I did make in this time I had this week. I have some new to me stuff, and which was very generously given to me. So thank you for that kindness out there. We'll talk more about that, and then we'll go into my plans. So moving on to the whips, I have a new setup today. So let me know if you are what you think of this new setup. I'm trying it out. I feel like when I hold something in front of the camera, I either have to think about what I have to say about it, so I can either share my thoughts about the project, or I can keep it within the frame. I don't feel like I can do both well at the same time. So we're going to try something new. If it's completely crazy, I apologize. Let me know if it's completely crazy. But if it works for you, then let me know that as well. So my finish is my Happy Halloween from Silver Creek Samplers. This was a gift to me from my friend Shelly in Indiana. So she sent the pattern to me. So thank you so much for that, Shelly. Perfect timing. It was right as we were looking at halfway to Halloween South. So this came right at the right time. I love the way this works. So this is, I stitched this on a 22 count Hardinger. So it was hand dyed by me, just experimenting with it. I think it just happened to work that my clunkiness in my dyeing process worked really well for this. So I did a complete color conversion. This was originally a mix of flosses, but then I converted to DMC to bring them a little more in line with where my color palette for Halloween. And then I made a few changes. So this was more of a definite O in the original pattern. It has a line around it, so it kind of mimicked both that moon and an O. I just converted that to the moon. It made some minor changes to the little cat there. And then let me see what else I did. Oh, this little candy corn down here was originally a mask. I'm not the biggest fan of masks. I like to see people's faces. Weird, because I love Halloween, and on Halloween it's okay, but just the concept of a mask independently kind of freaks me out a bit. So yeah, so I decided to do that. And then what else did I do? I added a couple more leaves up here, and that is about it. So the rest of it is basically the same. I know there is a happy little mistake in here somewhere that actually worked out well. I'm not going to point it out. But anyway, I love this piece. I think it worked. I love the way it turned out. So this, love it. I'm excited for, I don't know, maybe mid-September, so I can actually like just put it out and actually like see it full time, but I do have to put it away. Yeah, so it has to go take a little nap and then it'll come back. But I am excited to see that. So, and it's fully finished, so I'm excited for that. With my fully finished objects, my goal for probably 90% of what I finish is to make them in some sort of standardized frame where I can rotate through them, not necessarily seasonally, but just whenever I just need something new into my mix or I want to display it. So definitely the seasonal stuff will go in there, but everything I have fully finished now has been designed to fit in a standard frame so I can rotate through those. Yeah, I actually do rotate through a lot of the things around often, just to keep it interesting for me. So, my new start. This is the round robin that is the brainchild of Sheldon and Stitches, and we were sitting there just like talking about random things. Started with Stitch North, and then it morphed into 100 other things, and it's like we need to do a round robin. So we recruited Tyler from Will and Stitch and Andrew from the Runner Stitcher, and so we are doing going to be trading the round robin, and which got they have their whole round robin conversation going. So this is what I'm working on. So this is, yes, it looks upside down, but that's intentional. I'm working on the bottom bottom right hand side. So I prefer the bottom right hand side to start. Which doesn't matter here because I did start in the middle. So this is Half the Fun by Ink Circles. It is on a, let's see, 36 count linen. This was a gift from Lynn in Colorado, and I don't have any more information about that. So but it is 36 count. This is my first time doing anything on 36 count, and I am doing 1/2 on the linen. So a little bit about how I am proposing to do this particular layout for the thing. So we'll each have 1/4 of the entire pattern. There are 16 individual motifs inside each quarter. So every little motif, so the hot air balloon will be repeated 4 times, traditional mandala, the train will be repeated 4 times. However, each one of us will have one that we stitch differently. So the majority of it will be this brown color, which is 3371, and I'm going to select 4 other colors for my 4 specific motifs. So this one is my favorite color. It's DMC 351, so I'm going to do that one here for the train because it's the biggest piece. And then I have 3 other motifs in my section that it will each be a different color as well. And then I will send this off to Andrew. Andrew will be doing the top right, and he will do, again, everything, the majority of his in 3371, but then he has 4 motifs that he will choose 4 different colors for as well. So this is completely ad hoc. I don't know what's going to come of it. I don't know what it's going to look like at the end. It will be interesting to see how it all comes together with 4 different people picking 4 different colors, and how they choose to interpret that. I don't know if it is going to be complementary. I don't know if it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be fun no matter what. So I'm planning on taking this to work, and it'll be there with me at work. So one other thing that I plan on doing on this piece is there's no border on it. So I'm going to be creating a border of just a single stitch around it. But I'm going to be using that border as the signature line as well. So I will show you some pictures later as those come about, because I'll probably get there in the next couple of videos on what that looks like. But I'm going to be using Morse code as our signatures. So each of us will have the Morse code built into our section with our names in it. So getting into my nerdy historical side, so the history of Morse code and the history of modern transportation are very, very integrated. Modern transportation would not exist if Morse code did not exist at the same time. So they are so integral in the development of one another that I just thought that would be a fun way of including something else that is relevant into there, and also have everybody have their own signature in this piece. So that's what's coming. I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be fun. So I'm looking at getting this done here in the next month or so. I'm really excited to work on this one and keep it moving. So that's where that is. I don't have much other to say. I'm just excited about this piece. All right, so I'm going to talk about extraordinary birds. So if you have not seen what came out on May 30th, or you haven't seen anything else that has come out, we're on feature 3, came out on May 30th. So if you don't want to know, go ahead and skip down to the next section. The chapters will be down below. I don't know how you're watching Flosstube and not seeing extraordinary birds though. So I think you just have to step away from Flosstube to not see this piece. So I told you last time that I was going to take a break a little bit on extraordinary birds. Here's the entire thing. I told you I was going to slow down and I wasn't going to keep up with the SAL, because it was impulsive of me to join the SAL, and I didn't have the bandwidth to do it, and I did not have the time to put enough stitches in to keep it going. So it really threw the timeline of all my other projects off. And so I was like, I'm going to be responsible. I already had plans in place, and I'm going to find a plan that worked for Extraordinary Birds. I did. So I extended it out every week of the Extraordinary Birds SAL. I was going to give myself a month to do it, which put me into the summer of 2026 to get it done. I'm still on that schedule. I'm completely happy with that. However, this week, I did my own thing. So there's feature 1 is this area right here. Feature 2 is over here, which I haven't even got to yet. And this is a portion of feature 3 over on this left-hand bottom corner. So when I was approaching this, I was looking at it from what I have been watching other people do on the Deadly Aquarium. And there are some big items on the Deadly Aquarium. So I was assuming that there would be one bird a week coming out of this, or one feature a week. Well, there is one feature a week, but there'd be one focal point within a feature. I've been blown away. So right now we are at, I believe, 12 different distinct items that are featured in here. 9 of them are birds, and we're only on feature 3. 2 are in the frame, but still, there's plants, there's 2 plants, there's a butterfly. So there's so much detail on this. I love it. So anyway, I have been working on this top part of feature 3 up here. I tend to like to build off of something. I don't like a bunch of things floating around. So before feature 3 came out, I was trying to like build a solid portion of it down here with feature 1. And that 2 was too far over here for me to even start on it. But then when 1 came out and there's this definite line connecting with the top of the thing, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to start here and then start moving my way down. That was the plan. No, let me take this back. My plan was to do 88 stitches on this past week. That's all I had planned for, was 88 stitches, essentially 2 threads. I did, what was the number, 773 stitches. I put so much stitches into this that I did not plan to do. So there's a few other things that got neglected, but I had a lot of fun. So, yeah, it's progressing well. I'm excited. I had to tell myself yesterday, I was like, okay, put it down, and go do something else. Yeah, so this has been too much fun. I think I was a little slumped because I was a little overwhelmed, having to change, my ideas about timeline. Maybe the frame stressed me out because there was a lot of distance stitching and you had to kind of guess where you were, and lots of extra counting. As you can tell, I didn't do several pieces that make the connections. I'm much more comfortable doing those now that I have something to build off on the bottom. But I was in a slump, and I'm not in that slump anymore. And now it's at the point where I'm like, I have to tell myself, put it down. So, Extraordinary Birds, Lola Crow. Oh, and I did not tell you about the fabric. The fabric is, what is this fabric? This is a 32 count gel blend. And it is Bestitch Me. It's fabric of the month from February. So that is what's going on there. So much fun. I love this project. So I'm still keeping it on the modified schedule, though. I will not get caught up. So I'm keeping my expectations real on what's going on with that. And but that just means I get to stitch on it for an entire year rather than the summertime. So I'm okay with that. All right, the next one is Extraordinary Birds. And thank you to Andrew for having his Whip into Shape challenge, because it has really helped me keep this thing going. So here, I'll show you the whole thing right here. That's where I am right now. So I have been looking at Andrew's running, and what I'm doing is making sure that I at least meet his minimums a day and then keep on going. Because once I get picked up and get going on it, I don't have any problems picking it up. So, but I have got most of this section in here done. This hole right here is for future initials, so those will go here as well. So this bottom line, I don't know if you can see that down here. This is where the end of May stops. So in theory, I should be down here if I were keeping up with this owl. Oh, and Modern Folk Embroidery, the design 2025 style for Modern Folk Embroidery. And so I have a good chunk that I didn't get to. I am further along now than I was at the end of April. So I have made some progress, meaning I'm not as far behind. But I know with Andrew's running schedule, I know that his miles are going to be picking up like crazy. And in a month or so, he's going to be running crazy miles. So this is going to get caught up very quickly. And my new modified goal, and I don't know, this has been running around in my head, but I haven't committed to it, but I would like to at least be back on schedule by the time Andrew runs his marathon. So that only gives me about 6 weeks, I think, between now and the end of the SAL. But that way, at the last month or 6 weeks of the SAL, I'm just working on what I would have worked on, and I will go into that last little stretch not behind. So, Extraordinary Birds, love this piece. So this one will have a permanent home. I know it will. I'm excited about it, one, because it's one of my very early ones, but I just love it. It's so beautiful. And I don't know what to say about this one. It's great. This is my morning stitch. When I get in the mornings, I have to organize my day, and if you're an outsider looking in, it probably looks like I'm just like spacing out. But I do have to get my mind prepared for the day. So I have found that I can go grab my coffee, I can sit down, I can look at my calendar, see what I have on my agenda, and I know what what I have to do. And then all that goes in my brain, and I just process. So I usually do my stitching on my little morning stitch. So that sounds like I'm adding more complexity to my mornings, but actually it is a way for me to, how am I going to say this? Take a portion of my mind and set it aside, and then the rest of it happens. So I can stitch on this and make it happen. So I will have a morning piece forever because it really helps me figure out how to process everything else I have to do while I'm keeping busy enough doing something else. And I have never done that before, and I've always felt that my mornings, even though they are my most productive time, have always been a bit chaotic. So this has really helped make that less chaotic. Okay, so this is See You in Spring. That was a long introduction to get you to the title. Mama Witch X Stitch on Etsy. This is a 28 count Zweigart cashel linen, and it's in the color of clay. So what have you seen since the last time? I know I've done a lot of work down here on this little snail, and I don't even know if I started on him last time. This has just been fun. I mentioned Extraordinary Birds. I like to have a solid place to build from. I'm not a big fan of starting in the middle. I feel very insecure when I start in the middle. That's why I start at the bottom right, because it feels like there's some foundational thing for me. And so why am I on the bottom left? I started here in the middle. Little Toad here was easier to stitch when it came to choosing colors and how the patterns will work out, so I kind of built off of him, and then I got down here. So this is going to be the bottom edge here, and then I'll just start building out from there. So yeah, that's how I ended up on the opposite side of where I would normally be. But this is such a fun stitch. If you have not tried Mama Witch Designs yet, please go try something. These are just really fun. There's enough block in there that you just can get through some threads, but there's enough interest as well. They are a little tricky. You do have to pay attention because, like in here, there's a lot of 1/4 and 3/4 stitches in the eyes. There's going to be a ladybug right here, which has a lot of over 1 stitches in it too. So there is some diversity in your stitching too. So it's not just full cross everywhere. So God, I do love this piece. This is going to be a gift, so I have to keep this one on schedule. So I think it's making good progress, and I just love the way this one is turning out. All right, so SAGA. Moving on to what can I say about SAGA that I have not already said before, but I love SAGA. Again, excuse my little lines there. They are, I'm just waiting to clip those off after they've been run under some other thread a little bit. Where were we last time? I've only had one Saturday to work on this, so I did not get to that this morning. So I was hoping to have a little more progress on this. But I think what I put in here is I got some of the back stitching in for the water down here. I still have this section to go in here. But I think this pillar and this little man are what I got last time. My goal was to, no, let me say, when I envisioned this happening, I didn't make any hard rules for myself, but I was thinking I would do one archway at a time, get a little vignette done, move to the next. I was so close to adding a new color. I had to add a new color. So here's the little man here. So I wanted to make sure he worked. Again, the theme is man versus nature. So I wanted to add in the little color for man and see how that worked. I'm just so excited about the colors. It's one thing to have them independent in the world, just saying, do these colors work? But when you put them on a project, there's always room for them not translating the way you expected. I, so far, love it. It'll be interesting to see when I get the next vignette, which is a lot more of the man-made items. It's a much deeper red than the little man, but we'll look. I'm really excited about that. So again, animals are good. This dark sagey green color. The water is a lighter version of that. And then this chartreuse is for vegetation. A gray for all the pillars. I know they're man-made, but needed some sort of solid to kind of keep everything in balance there. And then this very vibrant little gold color for anything celestial. So those are my colors. So anyway, it's just so much fun. He's just so little cute little guy. So anyway, I have that new column, and then, oh man, that's kind of what I got done. There may be a few other little things in there that I have forgot about over the week, but so much fun. I know there are some people, I've heard some people conversations about whether they should start SAGA or not start SAGA. Again, I'm only, 2.5 months into it. There's always something new to discover. I'm literally at 4% of the entire thing, and every week there's just something new. So to be fair, I have not pre-scanned. I've taken a broad view of what the entire thing looks like. I had to do some scanning to kind of see how my colors, like conceptually what would be in there, but I haven't spent a lot of time delving into the details of it. And when you get into details, when you're stitching, there's so many things that pop out at you. So there's so much fun in there. If you are debating in the slightest about doing SAGA, I say do it. It's so much fun. Okay, that is it for my whips this week. Fewer than normal, but definitely I'm excited about my progress that I've made. So moving on to the new to me category. So this is from Stitchy Kindness. I had a wonderful gift box show up from Margaret in Connecticut. She sent me so many patterns and magazines. I can't tell you how many there were. I didn't count the total amount, but there were so many. I'm going to go through all of them today. I'm going to say there are probably like 15 magazines / charts that she sent in. The one thing that she did send was this. It's not going to focus. little tiny needle minder with a duck. This is my first needle minder. I don't really use needle minders because, well, let me tell you, I do lose my needles. I only lose my needles when I'm actually stitching, and I will like snag my finger underneath and like yank it out and it goes flying across the room. That's when I lose my needles. Or I will be stitching and for some reason I just like let go and it falls to the floor. But when I set the project down, I usually don't leave any floating threads around with needles on them. I don't leave my needles in my fabric. I have, every project has a little tin, and then inside I have a little magnet there. So I guess that's a needle minder, but it's just not connected to my thing. And I have a little needle in there, and I usually keep a, what do you call them, needle threaders? I don't know, the thing you use to put the thread through the eye of the needle. Yeah, so I usually, every project has its own little box that goes with it. That's everything. Some of them will have clips, so I will keep clips in those. But anyway, yeah, so Margaret sent me my very first needle minder. I have been using it. I've been using it when I'm doing half the fun, and it actually does come in handy occasionally if I do have to set it down. So I might be a new recruit to needle minders. So that was a tangent. I was going to say thank you to Margaret for her generosity. So thank you so much, Margaret, for that. There's so much stuff that she sent along. I do appreciate it, and I am excited to share it with you today as well. So let me get that. So I will run through these things really quickly. So here is a pattern from, I think this is from 1982. This is on a 14 count 8. It's a full kit, so I'm excited to do this one. And it is just a little still life with some fruit. So love this one. I'm going to be doing that one. Okay, this one is more than cross stitch. This is knit, crochet, cross stitch, and needlepoint. I do not know how to needlepoint, so but I'm very seriously considering the knit and the crochet as well. And there's some great patterns in here. So I'm thinking about making some pillows and learning how to do some different sort of finishing. Yeah, I love this. I can't tell you. So, they have the crochet snowflakes. I'm definitely doing those. So much fun. This little mouse, I'm assuming it's the Rat King, I'm guessing, from the Nutcracker. Can you see that? He's probably going to make it on my little Christmas stitching list. So much fun. Okay. This one, I have so many ideas about what to do with one. This is the village alphabet. Each little house has a letter connected to it. And by spelling words, you're going to get different little villages. I love this one. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't know if I don't know. I haven't been excited about an alphabet yet, but this one I am. So, yeah, we'll figure out what to do with that. Not cross stitch, but this is a felt bird Christmas ornament kit. So there's the little birds right there. Comes with all the felt, the floss. This is going to be a fun project. I'm looking forward to that. This is Missouri Star Quilt Company. Name that. All right, Satsuma Street, their temperature chart. I have done a temperature blanket in crochet. Let me take that back. I did 10 months of a temperature blanket in crochet. If you use the wrong yarn meaning worsted weight like most people would tend to use, you're going to get a distorted blanket where your blanket's going to be excessively big because there are too many days in the year to make a blanket that is appropriately sized. So anyway, it was about October and I was like, this blanket is crazy big. I'm quitting. I'm happy with where it is. I don't need the entire year. So the blanket's now it's a 10-month temperature blanket. So I love the idea of doing temperature stitching. I love the idea that there is something arbitrary and random that dictates art, that contributes to art. So the idea of using temperature or some random event or some cyclical random event is, love it. This is one of my favorite temperature charts I've ever seen too. I just love it. I'm also getting Small World vibes from like Disneyland. So I think I might be doing something in that kind of category too. All right. 2024 calendar. Just cute little animals. I'm not going to flip through it. Anyway, there's a calendar in there. It has 12 months, but only 6 pictures. So each 2 months share these. These are so cute. Yeah, they're adorable little animals. Okay. I have never played backgammon before, and I think I need to start playing backgammon. Look at these fun little backgammon charts. I don't know which one I would do. I don't know. In an alternate life, I think I would live in someplace near the ocean, and the little seashells or the lighthouses would probably be it. But look at these little dogs. I mean, it's just, or little ducks. This is amazing. All right, wildflowers, botanicals, definitely. These are some of the nicest ones I have seen. So I love this particular pattern. I mean, look at the thistles in this thing. Yeah, I actually need to add that to my list. I actually need to sit down and do a botanical because I think I have decision paralysis when it comes to botanicals. All right, last kit that I'm going to show you. This is a little Christmas ornament collection in this little Scandinavian style. It comes with some flosses and a little bit of Ada in there. Definitely one of my winter aesthetics. I love anything Nordic or Scandinavian influence. Love all the details in that. So that is just a small sampling of what I got from Margaret. So Margaret, again, thank you. I appreciate that so much. You will definitely keep me busy, and I have so many ideas brewing in my head. So I can't wait to get something on that started. All right, moving on to plans. Let's see. So like I said, I'm going to be traveling. And I am going to use this as an opportunity to focus on some projects. I'm going to make very, very smart choices that I will regret as soon as I get to Denver. But I'm going to bring Baldaquin Birdies with me to really move that forward. So that way I can keep up with Andrew as he's running and also make sure that gets back on track. I am going to bring my steady thread Sal. I find that when I'm on an airplane that black work is somewhat a bit easier when I'm on an airplane. So I will be doing that, and then I have to pick one more. I don't know exactly what that's going to be. I'm going to look and see which ones I want to make progress on, and then also which ones I want to stitch. I can tell you it's not going to be Extraordinary Birds because it got a little too much attention this week, and it has a lot of colors. So whatever I bring will be minimal colors. So that's kind of what I'm going to be working on in the immediate future. And then I'm not sure I have any goals for the next 2 weeks for what I want to do for the next video. But just in general, kind of where I'm going, there's some stuff that I've talked about before. I can kind of give you an update on that. So I will build myself a farm. This is a project I really want to do. I'm going to be making some changes to it. I love this piece. So I have been working towards trying to figure out how to make it what I want to make it. So I'm really taking my time to get there. So what most of this is going to be the same, but I do want a couple extra things. So I've mentioned this before, that I live in a house that looks like a farmhouse. It has never been a farmhouse, but it's more than 110 years old. So it kind of has an aesthetic there. I want this farmhouse here to more reflect my house. So I am going to use this house right here as a foundation and then move it. So I'm working on taking this house and making sure it's in the appropriate scale. So translating the pattern from over here and converting it to this. And then I'm also going to be borrowing little tiny pieces from this one that will architecturally fit. So if that makes sense, I'm just trying to mash these two together. That's kind of what I'm trying to do there, and make that work. So that is an ongoing process. Still haven't got there quite yet. I will be using this thread. So this thread fabric. This is a Zweigart. What is this? This is the same as SAGA. So 32 count Zweigart Murano. I dyed this to get this sagey green color, just to get that for the farm. I do have to still select floss. I did go through and look at the floss that came with the kit for I Will Build Myself a Farm. It's probably about 50 years old and still in its original packaging. Some of it has deteriorated in a way, and I don't think it's going to be strong enough to actually stitch with. So I am just going to do a complete color conversion. I'm going to do something that is out of the ordinary for me. I'm going to try to keep it very, very subtle. And so that is my challenge for myself, is to use subtle color. And I really want to kind of stay true to a traditional sampler when I do this one. So that's what I'm going to do. So now that I have my fabric, I know my colors, or the color of the fabric, I'm going to start looking for colors that will work on the floss side. All right. Let's see. Oh, timeline. Oh, more on that. I'm also trying to design little tiny cat motifs. They're going to have to be small because there's horses and geese and sheep, cows. There's all kinds of animals in here. I know the scale is not going to be perfect, but I do have to get cats. So I will need to get the cats in there. And I have to have my 3 cats that are indoors. And then I have lots of cat friends that are just around. I'll show you a picture of my little porch cat. This is Orion. So Orion adopted us at some point in, I don't know, the past couple of years. And he just hangs out. So when I'm outside in the yard, he's doing his thing and he just hangs out with me. and he's just my little outside bud. So I love him so much, and he has some rough times, and we've got him to a point where he's healthy again, and yeah. So anyway, I'm so glad to have him. So yeah, so he needs a place on this little chart too. And then we've also had, some other ones that will come and visit from time to time. A neighbor nearby at some point used to 3 days a week feed the neighborhood cats shrimp, like fresh shrimp. And so we would go out and just yell, for them, and literally from the neighborhood they would all come out, and there would be 30 cats out there. So they have moved, and so those cats have found better resources now, but yeah, that was always fun. So I don't know how he could afford to feed 30 cats 3 times a week, but he did. Okay. So the last time I did show you the flea market flowers. So this is going to be sometime of a summer start. I'm not exactly sure when, and if I didn't say so, I don't really have a start date for I will build myself a farm either. These are things that I'm working towards being ready to have a start. But I do have to, I'll show you my calendar. So this, all I'm going to be working on is dyeing some fabric. So I have some fabric that I am going to work with. I'm thinking a dark brown color to go with some of the more vibrant colors that I chose. So there's a lot of corals and pinks and vibrant sherbety oranges. So I'm thinking I might want to do that. I haven't decided yet. I do want there to be some sort of contrast, and I have a lot of reference materials in my brain that I want to consider, but once you dye fabric, it's dyed, so I do want to make sure I make the right decision. That is something I'm actively working on. Other future plans, the round robin will be coming in July, so I am excited about that. Have no idea what that is going to be, but I know that is on my radar. And then I have my focus on the finished pieces, which is crazy because I told you about these last time, and none of them have any project or progress on them. So that is the Night of All Fears that I want to get done. That was my very first project. I started that in the first week in November. I want to make sure that that does not go over a year. I love the design of that piece. I'm not crazy about the fabric, and so I do enjoy seeing it grow. I'm not always happiest when it's stitching. It feels like there's a lot of effort in the stitching, but I am committed to getting that one done. My other focus on the finish is for my rainbow sheep row. That's from Catkin and Lily. I have 4 of my 7 sheep done, and I need to get that done. I was hoping to get that done by the end of May. It didn't happen, but that will be coming in June. That's when I hope to get all of that done. My other one that I do want to focus on and finish now is my Half the Fun, which is the round robin that is currently going, and that will go to Andrew when I'm done. So I'm going to get that to him as soon as possible. So that is my plans. I have a little bit of a overload in June. That said, I'm starting to ease back. I have a few things that I want to start. I do have the round robin coming up. So I do want to make sure that I'm making good progress on my current whips to make sure that I have some breathing room when that comes around. I do want to stay under the 500 stitches a day or 3,500 a week. I do want to stay under that. I think that is a reasonable weekly goal for me. But I would rather be able to work more and make some additional progress than to always be behind. So, yeah, so I'm trying to be very responsible about what I add to my plate. I know the round robin's coming, and I know at some point I do want to start the flea market flowers sometime during summer, but I do want to get to a more balanced place before I come into that. And then I will build myself a farm will be the next big one after that. Until I change my mind, because that's what I do. And those are all my plans. So thank you for sticking around for this longer than expected video. I do appreciate you taking the time to spend with me. I'm always excited to talk about what I'm working on, and I hope that you can get some inspiration or just have a stitching buddy while you are doing some of your own stitching. So I do appreciate you being here. I know there are people out there in the world who maybe feel unseen. I know that there are people who are afraid to jump into conversations and to express their own thoughts because they are more critical of themselves than the rest of the world is critical, but they assume that everybody else in the world sees them as they see themselves. And I know those people are out there because I'm one of those people. And I'm always afraid to jump into conversations. And I just want people to know that on the other side of opening that door is a beautiful world. So if you are hesitating to share your opinion or to open a door onto some potential friendship or relationship or anything that is just you're afraid that people might see the real you, I can tell you that the real you is more beautiful than how you see yourself. And the rest of the world sees that. So we do see you. And I see you. And I welcome you to this big, wonderful world that is ready to embrace you too. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I appreciate you so much. And until the next time we chat, happy stitching.